Hi Facebook. It is time for a Facebook Live from Right On Consulting Agency. So sorry I was not able to get on yesterday. I was coming in from out of town and I just kept hitting traffic. I'm talking about like all the way down 75. I bypassed the major traffic at the McDonald area. I was able to bypass that. I think I got to High Falls, traffic there, and then I got to Perry and it was more traffic there, and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make it to do my Facebook Live video. So I am here on tonight just so we can kind of stay on schedule. It is Monday, it's not Sunday, but nevertheless I wanted to continue and come on so that I can do my recap on Wednesday. Alright guys, having some technical difficulties. The internet is up and running. The door is open as you can see, so I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. It gave me time to find a paper I was looking for tonight's series. Remember, this is our last part for how to manage your things to do list. And tonight's part is called calendars, agendas, journals. Oh my. And I just wanted to share with you guys a method I use in order to tackle my larger goals, which usually extend beyond something I need to get done in a day or something I need to get done in a week. These are typically goals that can extend themselves to be a month-long project or even beyond that. So I wanted to share with you guys the method that I use because it really does help me get so much done to kind of track why the goal is so important. Remember last week we talked about how our things to do list can actually become daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and beyond. We discussed how goals are not just things that we need to do in our lifetimes. They could very well be things to do that we just need to take care of today. We also talked about, I hope you guys celebrated, just some things you were able to get done on last week alone, maybe even just on Monday alone. If you had a large things to do list, it does help to celebrate your accomplishing those goals on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, however you deem necessary, to kind of help you keep and stay motivated in your setting goals and then accomplishing those goals. So this particular part of the series feeds off of that. So you have your things to do list, you've prioritized whether or not it's something you can get done in a day, a week, or a month, and now possibly you see where it's something that's going to take you a little bit longer. So the first thing you need to do is get you a goal sheet, and let me show you one that I have. Sorry for bending down, I forgot I needed it. And just a statistic for you guys, 84% of people surveyed stated that calendars were either important or very important in their daily lives. So if you are still using a calendar, and I'm talking about a calendar, not something that's in your phone, and I'm not knocking your phones and the calendars that are there, but if you are still using something like this would be considered a personalized calendar. You are not alone. This is 84% of people who say they still consider them important and very important. 76% of people said they look at their calendars between 2 and 10 times a day. So calendars, they are still useful. I pull my calendar out just to see what I have going on. I don't like to use my phone calendar. I don't know how come. I just can't get into the habit of actually logging my information in there. Now, if I'm on the go and somebody gives me a date while I'm out and about and I don't have this with me, then I will use my phone calendar. And again, I usually don't remember the event as well as if I would take the information down and put it here and actually write the information down. So, calendars are not outdated. Printed calendars in a digital age. One thing I was looking for was my notes. I took some notes on how impactful are people still using calendars, because I still use mine, but that I'm not the whole population. Just because I'm using mine does not mean people are still using calendars. I could be behind the times, but guys, I am not. From 2014 to 2015, from 2015 to 2016, planners, or the actual people buying planners, those numbers have increased. Sales grew from 10% to 342 $1.7 million. So people are still using calendars, even though this is the digital age. And this is easier to put your stuff in this, but you may not remember. That's my problem. I will put stuff in my phone and it may or may not get done, even when I set the reminders. So even though the reminders come, if I'm in the middle of something else, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to remember. Or sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I just don't remember the information that I actually type in my phone. So if you follow me, then you should have seen a video that came up on the page that talks about why typing, or the differences between typing and writing. Is there even a significant difference between when I actually write down information versus when I'm typing information? And you guys, there is a difference. When I sit on my phone and I'm doing this, it's not registering with my brain as quickly or as easily and as permanently, if you will, when I actually sit down and write the information. And that's going to be our topic for Sunday's The Writing Couch. I want to share with you the insight that I have been given about why writing sticks and why it's able to come to the forefront of our brains, and what triggers the information in our brains to kind of remind us and to remember the information that we actually physically write down. If you've been following me and you've tuned in to the very first part of this series, we discussed the impact of physically writing information down and how our brains remember the information better because it brings it to the forefront of our minds. This is our forefront. And then it's actually a trigger mechanism going on in our brains when we actually physically write the information down. So I do have some insight on why that happens. And I just hope you guys tune in, because it did something to my heart. It did something to my soul. It really did something to my actual mind and my thought process about what writing is and why physically writing information is so key. And it led me on a tangent. And I won't say that tangent because it wasn't a bad thing, but it really led me down a path to get an understanding on literacy. I got an understanding about how to teach people to read, the foundational principles it takes to read. It gave me insight on the next series, which we are going to be doing, which is on literacy. So it's a huge deal to actually physically write information down, guys. Is a huge deal. So I hope you guys join me on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, for a special edition of Write On Consulting Agency, The Writing Couch. And we will be having these special editions once a month. And this month we're going to hit on why writing is so powerful and so key in our retaining and remembering information. So writing versus typing. Some numbers I have for you. In a study done by Pam Mueller and Daniel Oppenheimer, it was concluded that students who wrote their notes on paper actually learned more information. So when you are actually physically writing things down versus typing the information, then your brains, again, your brains are able to remember that information for what, and I can't keep saying for whatever reason, because I know the reason. I'm just trying not to share it on this particular video, so I don't get ahead of myself for Sunday. So there is a reason behind why we're able to retain more information when we physically write versus typing, which is why, as it relates to this particular series, I am an advocate for getting a calendar. Get you a good old-fashioned calendar. Get you an old-school agenda. Get you a journal. I have journals for days around my house with notes in them. Some one-page notes, and I go get another journal or whatever, you know, and it helps me stay organized. It helps me stay focused, and it helps me get things done. So our takeaway number one, there is a difference between typing and writing. So if you are logging your information in your phone, there's a major difference between you logging or typing your information in here versus writing your information down here. Statistics have proven that when you write information down, we just have a much better job of retaining that information. Remember last week we discussed that only 3% of people have their goals written down. And of those 3%, they are 3 times more likely than the 14% of people who don't write down their goals, but they at least have a goal in mind to be more successful than them. And those people are 10 times more successful than I think 86% of people who don't write down anything. So I still don't have the numbers for that. If I go sit down, I bet you I can come up with an answer. I'll be giving an answer as to what number that is. We're trying to figure out, if anybody's watching and wants to help out, what is, and find the numbers. 14% of people have goals. They are 10 times more successful than those without goals. That's part A. Then 3% with written goals are 3 times more successful than the 14% with unwritten goals. Guys, I know there's some alphabets in there, some X and some Y's, maybe some Z's to find that answer. I just need to sit down somewhere and put my math thinking cap on. It wasn't on for this week. I was really into writing and literature and literacy this week. So just know there is a difference between when you type and log your events here versus when you write and put your events here. There's a difference, and again, I'm going to get more into detail on that on Sunday. Takeaway number 2, what you should do in order to translate your goals, and especially your long-term goals. Print out you a calendar, get you an agenda or a journal. Better yet, just go ahead and purchase you one. Go ahead and make the monetary investment in your goals, in your getting organized, in your planning information, and getting things done on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. Go ahead and make that investment in yourself. You are not going to regret doing it, especially if you keep it up. So this is my journal. I bought this. It's a 2016, 2017. Y'all excuse, I have notes everywhere. I just been researching, guys. I'm so excited about the information I'm finding out. So this is my journal. This is April. So as you can see, I do go through and highlight when I finish something, and I have notes on top of dates, things to do on top of things to do. And typically what I'll do, like, this is my things to do list for a particular day. So I have some things spelled out here, but then I went back and said, hey, this is what I need to get done today. And as you can see, there are plenty of check marks. So I got a lot done here. So this is my calendar. It works for me. I do not forget stuff. I'm able to plan ahead. I have some stuff on here about my old job. Progress reports is supposed to go out on the 21st. Of course, that won't get highlighted for me. I'm not there. But, hey, I was able to take the school calendar that I was given and go ahead and put that information down. So that could have easily turned into a long-term goal for me. I just have things here that are upcoming that, of course, now at this point are past. I have not filled out my things to do for this week here, but I did get everything that I said I was going to do done today, minus one thing. I forgot to do one thing. By the time I thought about it, time had passed and they closed at 5. So I didn't get it done. So go ahead and make the investment in yourself, in your goals, in your long-term goals, in your short-term goals, your daily goals. Go ahead and invest in you. This is going to help you do that. That's why I'm kind of an advocate for not just simply going, hey, maybe if you do print it out, you've invested in the ink, so maybe that works too. For me, I do want to make my own calendar next year because I want to include the trying to find it, my personalized to-do list. So I think I want it to look like this. I got to put my thinking cap on because I do want it to have the same feel as this with, you know, the double fold, but I also want to include this instead of those note sections that are in here. So that's one of my goals for next year, is to create my own calendar so I can personalize it for me. I love this. I love this look, but there are a few adjustments I will make just to kind of make it more personal for me so I can do an even better job of organizing my time and my goals. So that's takeaway number 2. Go ahead and print you out a calendar, agenda, or a journal. Better yet, go ahead and purchase you one. Go ahead and make the investment in your goal life. I'm calling this your goal life. Go ahead and make the investment in your daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly goals by purchasing a calendar. And then the last takeaway for this particular series is use the calendar. Guys, it doesn't make sense to have the calendars. I'm sure we're all guilty of purchasing agendas. We are all guilty, I'm sure, of purchasing journals, and then we don't use it. So if you're going to buy it, go ahead and use it because it's going to help you guys. This helps me so much. One, not overbook. I don't overextend myself in terms of I have this many hours, but so much time and so many things to do. I'm able to spread out the things I have to do for me, the things I have to do for ministry, the things I need to take care of, you know, at home with my parents, with my siblings, those kind. I'm able to just really get a understanding or a feel for how much time I have to get certain things done because I have things logged here. So go ahead, make a difference in your life. I promise you it's going to help you, and use a calendar. Again, I am an advocate for writing the information down versus typing the information in, because there is a difference between typing and writing the information. And I'm going to share that information with you guys on Sunday. Please, please, please tune in. If you want to know why writing is so important, guys, I didn't understand until, I don't even know what date it was. I have it written down. I didn't understand how important writing was until last, I want to say Tuesday or Thursday. Like, just how powerful writing itself is to us as people, and especially if we're trying to just get to higher heights, if you will. I promise you, boy, I mean, to know how to teach somebody to read based off starting with what is writing is powerful. It was powerful to me, and I'm just super, super excited to share that information with you guys. So you have some larger goals that you are trying to take care of. Maybe something you need to get done by the end of the month for your job. How do you go about getting that information done? This is a goal sheet I found, I think it's been 2 or 3 years ago by now. It's from sparkpeople.com. It's a SMART goal setting worksheet. So this is what it looks like. There's the email address backwards up at the top. And I love this because it really does measure. The first thing is you have to, of course, define your goal. What is your goal? And then the second thing, why. I think one thing on here, why is this goal? That's the most powerful thing on this sheet to me, is why is this goal important? So often we make goals, but we do not define why they are important to us to get them done. And when we don't do that, it's almost like they're not as important as they probably are. If we would go ahead and define and say, hey, this goal is important to me because, then how much more likely are we to say, hey, this really is important to me. I really do need to go study for this science test because I'm trying to keep my A in the class. Or I really do need to go and exercise because, what's a good reason to exercise? Because I want to live a long life. Like, really be that detailed and that broad in your reasoning. How come? Because it's really going to hit you here in your heart, and it's going to make you put your hands to these things as time progresses, and you may or may not feel like doing it. So that's one of my main things. Like, and it's step number 5, make your goal relevant. And it says list why you want to reach this goal. I think that alone is powerful. And then it makes you set up some deadlines. And it also makes you set up some midpoints. And I love that because not only do you have a larger goal to reach, it makes you say, hey, halfway into this thing, I'm going to see where I am, and then you can make adjustments. Maybe you need to move your date, your end date. Maybe you need to push it up because you're much further along than you thought you were going to be when you first sat down and did your goal sheet. So I love those 2 things the most. It makes you sit down and say who's going to be your support system, who can you depend on or call on if you need help. It makes you actually put down what you need to accomplish the goal. Guys, this thing is thorough, and I absolutely love it. Now, I want to show you a completed one, if I can find it. Guys, I ran some errands after work, so I was still rushing, trying to get in the house and log on time at 7 o'clock. Hey, mommy, I will send you the sheets. Baby, I'm looking for my completed one so I can show it to you guys. And guys, forgive me. I'm just unorganized. But I was trying to get on time because I missed it yesterday. Just like I said, in traffic. All the way down 75. I'm in the car. I was like, I gotta get home so I can make it. I gotta get home. Okay, Miss C, I will get you one. Y'all, I'm trying to find the completed one. Y'all, excuse, I have so many. Y'all, all of this is research. I've researched. This is last week's research. I have to hole punch it and file it. So that's why it's not in place. Okay, you know what? I can't find the one I'm looking for, but hey, I have the whole notebook. This is something I was using maybe about 2 years ago. So I even went to the extent of putting dates at the top. And then I would put, let me find some work related. Okay, so here's some stuff pertaining to the business. There are some dates, time at the top. I was specific in saying when I was actually going to work on this stuff. And it really did help me sit down and work on the stuff. And then I labeled the sides. Everything had an operation. So this was operation, business plan, and focus. And here is it completed. And let me see if I finished it. Let's see. I think I was putting stickers at the top as I was getting done with everything. I'm sure I celebrated Destination 4 because I have not backslid into Destination 3. Okay, here it is. So, and then I created this. This is my goal checklist sheet. I put all of the goals here. So I'm going to have to send you guys both. And then as I was finishing the goals, then I would put my little star. Yes, it's kiddish. Yes, I am grown. But nevertheless, look how much stuff I got done, guys. So it helped me. It really, really helped me. You can see here it gave me a time frame just by the week. I was giving myself 1 week, 2 weeks, depending on how big the project was or how small it was. Here's another one fully completed. Yes, I give myself stars. I pat myself on the back and I get stuff done that way. So operation workflow, some stuff I had to do for work. Operation declutter, operational bulletin boards, workshops. Guys, it works. It worked for me. I know it will work for you if you use it. So again, tonight our focus was to be able to go in and write your goals down in a calendar. I am an advocate for writing information down because it matters to your brain. It matters to your life. And again, I'm going to explain how come to you guys on Sunday. Join me here. I can't remember if I said the time was going to be 6:45 or 7:45. So I'll repost the advertisement for one. I didn't write it down. That's why I didn't remember. I'm going to write it down and I'm going to repost it to the page so that you guys can see what time it is, because I hope you guys tune in so that you can see why writing is so important and maybe why it's so hard for people to actually write, just in the sense of why it's such a struggle to teach people how to write, possibly why it's such a struggle, because if you learn how to write, you guys, there's like power in being able to write. And I'm not talking about like writing a dissertation. I'm talking about just basic knowing how to write the alphabet. It helps with reading comprehension, which we'll be able to get into after Sunday. I'm going to do the next series is on literacy. And I'm super, super excited about the series because I've been researching it now, I think since October. And I've also I didn't necessarily stop researching. I just was kind of going and shifting. God was just leading me in different directions of things to research. So I don't know if you guys saw it on my timeline. It was like, hey, literacy, we meet again. Welcome back. Because God brought me back to it. And it is God, I promise y'all, it was God who showed me how to teach reading. I have taught reading for 3 years. I have gone to a reading endorsement class for, I think it was a couple of months long. And I just found out how to teach reading at the basic level. And I'm just so excited just to know. And I do want to share that information with you guys. So This is wrapping up how to manage your things to-do list. We talked about why writing things down was so important in part 1. Then we talked about how our goals come in all shapes and sizes in part 2. And this week we are focusing on why we need to get calendars, journals, or some type of agenda to help us organize our things to do list. I know y'all didn't know the things to do list was that important. I didn't know it either until I actually sat down and began to, look into this particular series, how broad that thing to do list can get, how narrow it can get, and how we can use our things to do list to just really measure our time in the sense of getting things done and saying, hey, this part of my things to do list I need to get done today, or I have 2 or 3 weeks and I can get this information or this task or this project done then. So we really can take that things to do list and break it down and manage it and create daily, weekly, yearly, monthly. I mean, the possibilities are endless, guys, with our things to do list. I made a things to do list before I left work to say, hey, things to do when I leave work. Where am I going? Because I'll forget to go. Like, I almost forgot to go to Publix. I have to take some snacks to work tomorrow, and I almost forgot that I needed to go and get the snacks. Well, I don't put my word out there to bring the snacks. I need to show up with the snacks. So I did. I made me a things to do list for which store was I going to go to first, which store was I going to go to second, third. And that may seem tedious to you, but I really was trying to maximize the time from when I got off of work until about 6:45, because I knew I needed to be home about 6:45, 6:50, so I could come and greet you guys. So it really helped me stay focused. I wasn't all over the place out there in the store. It helped me stay focused in the store because I realized, hey, this first stop is 6:15 to 6:20. You got to wrap this up. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. And so that helped me. So the things to do list can be as broad as you want them. They can be as narrow as you want them. And the possibilities of how much you can accomplish are endless. Don't forget that 3% of the people who actually write their goals down are 3 times more likely than the 14% who have unwritten goals. And those particular people are 10 times more successful than the people who don't have goals. The math, I haven't figured that out, but I think I'm going to sit down and try to figure it out so I can stop talking about it and share with you guys what number that is, because it really is. It has to be a huge number. 10 times more successful than the people who don't have any written goals, and then they 3 times more successful than that. That sounds like some addition, like a 3x plus something, something, something. I'm going to figure that out. I remember my math skills. I am going to figure that out because I want to know what the number is. So don't forget, 83% of the population, they do not have goals at all. 14% have a plan in mind but are unwritten goals, and then 3% actually have goals written down. And I just shared with you the power of those written goals. And don't think because you have an old school calendar that you are living in the ice age. Okay, I shared with you some numbers at the beginning of the video. Let me share them again. 84% of a group of people that were surveyed really felt like calendars were important or very important in their daily lives. The cost or the spending amount on planners and appointment books and the like, it went up in between 2014 and 2016 by 10%. So even in the digital age, people are still using things like this. People like getting these as gifts. According to statistics, guys, 82% of recipients enjoy getting a calendar or as a complimentary gift. So if you're putting on a workshop or something like that, people don't mind getting calendars. Hey, who knew? 82% of recipients don't mind that. And they did say even in the digital age, personalizing, so I put flowers on mine. It didn't come like this. Personalization adds to these numbers because you can't personalize your digital calendar. I can't personalize what Apple has put in this thing. I don't even know if, let me see. I don't even know if I can change the colors. Let's see. Y'all give me a minute. Let me see. Calendars. I can't, I can't change the color. I can't do anything but use it like it is. So personalizing things does make it more personal to us, and we're probably more likely to use things that are more personalized to us for us, if you will. So hey, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this series on how to manage your things to-do list. I surely have enjoyed getting on and bringing you guys this information. If you've missed anything, please go back on the timeline and watch parts 1 and part 2. Part 3 will recap on Wednesday, I think at 6:15. If not between 6:15 and 6:30. I believe I'm going to be on at 6:15 for sure, because I have a meeting at 7 o'clock that I cannot miss. And so I will be on at about 6:15. They're usually not long. They are about 15 minutes recap, so they are not long at all if you want to join me on Wednesdays. Oh, great. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. Please share the videos. I just enjoy being on here talking to you guys about this information, because it's so fun to me, and it really does help me, and I'm hoping that these methods are helping you. They are strategies you can use. They are methods you can use in order to just, maybe you lost your goal, or maybe you going and you feel like you're doing too much, but you still need to get some things done. These methods are helping me, and so I'm so glad they are helping you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. Please share the videos, like the videos. You can go on the Right On Consulting Agency page and write a review if you feel the need to. I would love to hear you guys' words or see you guys' words. Go ahead and type it. You can't write it out, or maybe you can write it out. Maybe I'll share my address one day with you guys, so you guys can send me some mail, some fan mail, some follower mail, handwritten, because it matters. I cannot wait to get on Sunday and share with you guys how powerful writing is on so many levels. It's powerful enough, guys, that it taught me how to teach somebody else to read. That ought to be enough for you to tune back in on Sunday. Again, I'm going to post the times or repost the advertisement so that you guys can see it, and I'm going to write down in my calendar what time I said I was going to get on, so that I don't miss the appointment myself. So do share, like, review if you will on your end, because I just want people to see this information. It has helped me, and I'm so glad that it is helping you guys. I did get some testimonies behind, I think week 2's information about how important writing or the goals were. And, people were very complimentary. They commented that they were going to, it helped. They could see the power in it. People have been trying, and writing their goals down in agendas, old school agendas and calendars and the such and the like. And I was just so excited to see the compliments, to see the comments. Guys, if this is a better time for you all versus Sunday at 7:45, I am available on Mondays at the same time. I think I got on at 7. So if this time is better for you guys, then let me know. Then I don't mind getting going on Mondays at 7 o'clock if this time is better for my audience. So just, shoot me a message, shoot me a comment, and I can get on at this time. I can, I'm free on Mondays, and I can get on at this time and do the Facebook Live video. So thank you so much for tuning in the last couple of weeks. I'm thankful that you guys have enjoyed it, and I'm super, super excited about Sunday's series. I will be back on live with you guys on this coming Wednesday to do our recap on calendars, agendas, and journals. Oh my, and why they are so important. So go ahead, invest in yourself, and purchase you a calendar. I'm up here like, what is this sticky note? Let me make sure I ain't sharing my personal business, but I'm not. Oh, I have a work testimony, and then I'm going to get off. So I've been helping a student. She emailed me a couple of times about her paper, and one thing she was struggling with was the ability to be able to not overquote and overcite material in her paper. And so, the first time she sent it, I shared with her the issues. The second time she sent it, I could tell she tried to make some adjustments, but it was still heavily overquoted. And so I emailed her back and let her know. She's like, hey, can I just come to the lab? I said, sure. She made an appointment, guys. She came to the lab on Friday. She was committed enough. She came at about 9:15. She's like, look, I'm just going to sit here, because if I leave, she said, I'm just going to be busy this weekend. I'm not going to have time to do it. And so I sat there with her from about 9:15 to 12 o'clock. And guys, we worked through that paper to unquote it. and we worked through the paper to just take some of the bulkiness of the quotes out. One, it was APA, and they don't suggest that you put so many quotes, like direct quotes, in APA papers. So it was just quote after quote after quote. Like, I highlighted, I think maybe 95% of her paper was quoted information, which really wasn't her paper, you know. And she saw it and she recognized it, and she just kept saying, oh my goodness, y'all, this is a grown lady older than me. And she was like, I've never known how to do this. She said, no one has ever taught me how to do what you are showing me to do. And I was just so outdone, you know, just super excited, so grateful for the patience to, you know, not get mad with her and be like, look, you ought to know how to do this, because she didn't. You know, at the end of the day, she did not know how to do it. And so she emailed me today, guys. She got an A on that paper, which means she got an A in her class, which means she was able to keep her 4.0 for this semester. So I am super excited about what God is doing with me on my job. She was just super excited. You know, she was just able to hang in there, you know, one with me and the method God gave me to use with her and for her. So now I have a new method in my back pocket for people who possibly have the same issue or come to me with the same issue. And she's able to, one thing that stood out to me, she's going to be able to do it on her own, because we only got through about 4 pages. She had 3.5 other pages she had to go home and unclutter or unquote, if you will. So I just was super excited to get that email on today from her. And I look forward to more work testimonies. I look forward to more testimonies from you guys about actually using these methods and these tools that I am sharing with you, these strategies that I am sharing with you. Please like, share, comment, review on our page, just so that different people can see, hey, this she's sharing some good stuff. You guys really should tune in. I appreciate you guys. Thanks, Miss C. I have not, look, me reading up on science and writing, it birthed forth the information on Sunday. I have some notes for you specifically on science and writing, and I just need to type them up and get them to you. I do. So that's kind of where this started. Miss C was like, hey, science and writing go together, and I can't even remember what else she said, but I went to the library and got a book, and that was like step 2 or 3 in the process. And I mean, it just kind of exploded from there. So guys, I know how to teach reading. Yay. I'm super excited about that. You guys should be too, because you may one day have to teach somebody how to read with an understanding. I know I was taught how to read, but I know I could not teach anybody else how to read. And guys, I have a reading endorsement. So that says a lot. And I did my work. I did all the work. You know, I didn't play around with my studies. I wasn't trying to, you know, BS my professor, just trying to get my A. I really was trying to get an understanding. You know, I read the material. I didn't read it cover to cover, so maybe that was my bad. But I did. I read the material. I wasn't a slack student. I just wasn't like a slacker student. And I'm just getting an understanding on how the process of reading works. I'm learning how literacy works. I'm seeing why literacy is writing and reading, how much they go together. Just so much. So I'm looking forward to Sunday. I'm also looking forward to our next series, which is going to talk about literacy more in depth. And I look forward to sharing that information with you guys. So please, if you're not following us, go ahead and follow us. If you are not watching the videos, go ahead and watch. You can, of course, go back on the timeline and see the videos. And I will be back on Wednesday about 6:15 to recap tonight's video on why you should purchase a calendar, or at least print you out a calendar, an agenda, or a journal to go ahead and write down some things. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys on Wednesday. I hope you have a great evening. And don't forget, if this time works better for you guys, just shoot me a comment or an email, because I don't mind getting on Mondays. Let me know. Talk to you later. See you guys on Wednesday. Bye.